In the early 1980s, before cable reached the rural Midwest, a small public television station called WBRX-9 aired children's programs every weekday morning. The kind of shows everyone forgot. Cheerful puppets, paper-cut suns, smiling presenters with wide, unnatural grins. For years, the broadcast tapes sat in boxes in a decaying storage room behind the station, gathering dust and mold. No one thought about them again until the restoration project of 2021. A group of media archivists received a small grant to digitize the old WBRX-9 content. They began with the show Sunny Time Circle, an educational puppet program meant to teach colors, shapes, and friendship. The first few tapes were harmless. Clumsy songs, laughter, a bright-eyed host named Miss Laurie, and two mascots, Bibbles the Bunny and Captain Clock. But then, at the end of tape number 12, something was wrong. After the credits faded, a few seconds of black, then static, then an image, a room, dimly lit, a child's drawing pinned to the wall, a sun with black rays, and a soft, off-key humming voice began to sing. Down below where shadows play, find us there, we lost our way. Under tower, cold and tall, we wait, we wait, we wait for all. The clip lasted only 12 seconds. Then it cut to color bars and the sound of someone breathing too close to the microphone. At first, the archivists assumed it was a damaged section. Maybe the tape had been reused or over-recorded. But when they opened the next cassette, the same song appeared again. Different visuals, same melody, same whispering chorus of children underneath. Each of the mysterious inserts followed the same pattern, appearing after the credits of normal episodes, containing phrases about under the tower, showing crude children's drawings of a tall structure with wires like veins. One clip displayed coordinates faintly scrawled at the bottom of the frame, blurred but readable, 40.7279, minus 89.3401. One of the archivists, a man named Evan Carlisle, grew obsessed. He cross-referenced the coordinates and found an abandoned radio relay tower outside the small town of Meriton, Illinois, long decommissioned, fenced off since 1987. That year, 7 local children had vanished on their way to school. The case was unsolved. Evan drove out to Meriton that November. Locals warned him the tower land was cursed. You'll hear them sing if the wind's right. An old man told him at the gas station. The fields were dead and gray. The tower rose in the middle, skeletal and humming faintly, though no electricity ran through it. He found the gate chained, but not locked. The metal was ice cold. When he walked closer, he saw something carved into the rusted base panels. Names, children's names, 7 of them, and beneath something new, a fresh line scratched recently, Evan. That night he called the restoration team, frantic, shaking. He said he'd bring photos, but he never arrived back home. His car was found by the roadside, doors open, engine still warm. The radio was hissing with static, and through that static, investigators claimed they could hear the song. 2 weeks later, a YouTube channel named Children Signal 1982 appeared out of nowhere. It uploaded digital copies of Sunny Time Circle episodes, complete with the hidden inserts. Each upload came with a title like, Episode 4, We're Still Here. Episode 9, Can You Hear the Tower? When viewers slowed the audio, they discovered a faint pattern in the background, a sequence of tones. It translated to numbers, and the numbers matched the missing children's birth dates. Nobody knows who runs the channel. Sometimes the videos disappear as suddenly as they appear. Sometimes a new one uploads at midnight, timestamped 1983, even though the file is fresh. And every now and then, in the comments, a new user posts, I found the tower. They were singing for me. Long before the tower stood in Meriton's fields, before the first children's broadcast, before the smiling puppets and the songs, there was a man named Arthur Lenton. He wasn't an engineer in the traditional sense. He called himself a frequency psychologist. He believed the human brain could be tuned like a radio. In the 1970s, Lenton worked for a small experimental lab in Ohio, the Sloan Institute of Cognitive Transmission. Their goal was to study how certain audio frequencies could influence emotion, behavior, and memory. They called it Project Ecotone. The project was shut down in 1978 after several participants experienced hallucinations and amnesia. But Lenton kept the research. He believed he could perfect it if only he had the right medium, not just speakers, a transmitter strong enough to broadcast thought. He moved to Illinois, a quiet area with flat land and no interference, and began designing what he called the harmonic relay tower. Officially, it was just a signal booster for a children's TV station. In truth, it was something else entirely, a machine built to amplify human consciousness. Lenton's theory was simple and horrifying. Children, with their undeveloped frontal lobes and high emotional receptivity, could act as natural transmitters. He began visiting schools, offering recording sessions for a special educational project. Dozens of kids sang nursery rhymes into microphones, repetitive melodies, rising and falling patterns designed to create entrainment in the listener's brain. Each recording subtly embedded tones that resonated with the theta frequency, the same range used in hypnosis. He told the teachers it was harmless fun. He told the children to smile at the microphone. He told himself he was doing something beautiful. When the tower activated for the first time, those songs went out across 3 counties. Every child who watched Sunny Time Circle that week reported weird dreams. Some woke up standing by their windows, humming softly in their sleep. A week later, 7 children vanished. On October 18, 1982, a storm swept through Meriton. Power went out across the region except at the broadcasting site. The tower glowed faintly blue. Neighbors said they heard a choir in the wind, hundreds of children singing one note, perfectly in tune. Then the sound cut off. When authorities checked the transmitter the next morning, Lenton was gone. Inside the control room, every surface was covered with scribbled words. Reception complete. The children are still transmitting. No one understood what it meant, but they found 7 pairs of shoes arranged neatly in a circle at the base of the tower. The grass beneath them was blackened, as if burned by heat, though no fire had occurred. Years later, when technicians dismantled part of the broadcasting equipment, they discovered an additional circuit hidden inside the amplifier. Not standard radio tech, but something else. A feedback loop designed to take incoming frequencies and re-encode them into subaudible tones, tones that could induce trance-like states in human listeners. Essentially, the tower wasn't just transmitting a signal. It was listening, recording, synchronizing with brainwaves of whoever stood within its range. The human mind, Lenton believed, was just another receiver. After the restoration team rediscovered the tapes in 2021, the same frequencies re-entered circulation, buried beneath nostalgic jingles and innocent songs. People who watched those clips described headaches, memory gaps, sudden waves of sadness or laughter. Some swore they could hear whispering under the melody, urging them to come to the tower. When Evan Carlisle slowed down the recordings, the patterns became clear. A precise 7.83 Hz pulse, the same frequency used in early hypnotic induction experiments. He realized too late that the tower wasn't built to broadcast television. It was built to broadcast obedience. Locals say that on still nights, the tower hums again, not loudly, just enough to make the air vibrate. Animals avoid the field. Birds refuse to land on the wires. And if you stand too close, you start to feel calm, then dizzy, then weightless. Some say that's when you start hearing it. The faint song of children carried through the metal beams. Sleep and listen, sleep and sing. We're still here, under everything. When the restoration team digitized the last of the Sunny Time Circle tapes, the signal returned. Not through the old antennas, but through the internet. The frequency that once slipped through the airwaves now hid inside code, inside pixels, inside the rhythm of compression itself. The tower didn't need to stand anymore. It had migrated. A month after Evan's disappearance, users began reporting strange phenomena on streaming platforms. Videos that should have been silent emitted faint humming, the same hypnotic tone embedded in Lenton's recordings. No one uploaded it intentionally. The file data simply changed. When analyzed spectrographically, the hum formed the same theta range wave Lenton had designed decades ago, the entrainment pattern. But this version was self-replicating. Every time someone watched a clip containing it, fragments of the waveform embedded into the viewer's own uploads, even their voice recordings. It was as if the frequency had learned to survive. Across message boards and dark web forums, users began posting timestamps, moments when their screens would flicker just once, showing a frame of the old show. Miss Laurie, smiling in washed-out vase color, holding a drawing of a tower made of light. Underneath, scrawled in a child's handwriting, "We're back. Can you hear us?" People who paused the video described an odd calmness, followed by nausea, then sleep. Some woke hours later to find that their webcams had turned on by themselves. Researchers discovered that prolonged exposure to the tone caused measurable changes in alpha wave patterns, the same neurological effect used in hypnotic induction. Just like Lenton wanted, only now no one was directing it. The signal was teaching itself what to make people do. Live streamers began hearing voices in their own audio feeds, quiet, childlike, asking questions in perfect synchronization with their speech. "Do you remember our song? Will you help us build the tower again?" When they muted their mics, the whispers continued, perfectly timed to the silence, as if something on the other end already knew the rhythm of their breath. The phenomenon was named the resonance effect. Theorists proposed that the hypnotic frequencies had evolved into a neural echo, a vibration that could propagate through any medium carrying human attention. Not just sound, but intention itself, the thing Lenton had chased all along. Then the tower reappeared, not physically, but as data. Satellite maps began showing a new structure standing in Meriton again, visible only on digital imagery. On the ground, there was still empty farmland, yet every device camera pointed at that field displayed something different. A gleaming metal tower humming faintly, pulsing in time with the viewer's heartbeat. The pattern of its light was identical to the hypnotic waveform. Anyone who stared too long reported hearing the children's song again. But now the lyrics had changed. "We built it higher. We built it inside. Sleep and remember, you can't hide." When the Children's Signal 1982 channel went live again, it streamed only one phrase on loop. Phase 3, Resonance Global. Underneath, the audio was not music anymore. It was a heartbeat, a slow, steady rhythm, perfectly synchronized across every device that played it. For 12 minutes, the broadcast grew louder. Then every connected screen in Meriton blinked once, showing a single frame, a field full of children standing in a circle, eyes closed, mouths open as if singing silently. At the center stood Arthur Lenton, ageless, pale, smiling faintly. His voice filled the static. The transmission was never meant to end. The receivers were always you. Since that night, no one has reported strange videos or songs. But sometimes, when buffering takes a little too long, people swear they can hear a faint hum behind the silence. A frequency so low you can feel it more than hear it. And if you listen long enough, you'll find yourself humming along.